We have the spotters out in force today, you guys. What's up? It's Supercar Blondie here in the home of Bugatti at Molsheim. And for a very special reason, there is a whole new Bugatti right here that I'm about to show you. And you see the spotters just run along the fence line the entire time. Hello! Right, okay, let me show you this car. This is so cool, you guys. You're just gonna have to watch it on my channel. Yeah. All right, Fraser, unveil it. Here we go. Now the back is really special. All right, watch out for this. If I can get the top off, here we go. All right, guys, come look at the back. This is really, really cool. What do you see here? A massive X. Look at this. See here? All the way down, and here, all the way down. And that is inspired by the X-Wing jet fighter from Star Wars. But Bugatti calls it the Chiron Pure Sport. We're going to go with the X-Fighter Bugatti. Okay, just, we know what it should really be called. Recently, they unveiled the Chiron Super Sports 300 Plus. That was made for top speeds, right? And it broke a world record. This one here is made for cornering. The Chiron that broke the world speed record achieved speeds of around 490 kilometers an hour. This one right here is capped at a top speed of 350 kilometers an hour. But that is because they want to try and focus on the cornering and the grip rather than top speeds. You're looking at a whole new front for a Chiron. And this has become much more aggressive here. This comes over the headlights. This has been widened. This whole air intake here is also wider. So you're looking at a whole new front here. They've taken off 50 kilos from the standard Chiron. The first way is right here with these wheels. These are a lot lighter than the standard Chiron wheels. You see how they look like a spider web? The tyre actually leans in towards the top. So you can only see the bottom of the tyre there from the front and not this part. And that is because it's for better grip while you're cornering. So all of the tyres do that. They all lean in at the top. Because of all the braking done, right, in and out of corners, the brakes are going to get really hot. So in order to cope with the sheer amount of heat, they've actually made the wheels out of magnesium instead of carbon fiber. So that actually works to disperse the heat from out of this area. These are aero blades made out of carbon fiber. And that actually creates like a suction, in turn creates more downforce. These are actually 3D printed parts made out of titanium. And that's also to save weight. This bit here where it says Bugatti, you can actually customize that and you can put anything there. Imagine like X-Fighter on the back. That'd be quite cool, right? Chiron engine, an 8-litre W16 with 1500 horsepower. And they've actually completely changed the gearbox. Means that you can shift between the gears a lot more quickly. It accelerates 40% more quickly out of corners than the standard Chiron. Imagine that feeling, 40% quicker. 0 to 100 in 2.3 seconds, whereas the standard Chiron is 2.4 seconds. These things may seem like very small changes, but actually when you're behind the wheel, they are massive. You've got this beautiful pattern here that's been lasered into the Alcantara, and then you've got all of this stitching that's new on the seats, and also massive panels here of Alcantara, and that's to save weight. Everything is focused on saving weight in this car and increasing downforce. There's a Sports Plus mode, you guys. Now this is where we talk about the drifting part. So what that does is when you put it in that mode, it will allow for the car to slip out so you can actually drift around corners before the traction control actually comes on and goes, all right guys, reining it in a little bit. So it will allow for that drift, whereas on a standard Chiron, the traction control will forcibly grab the car a lot quicker, and it's limited to 60 cars. That's it, that's all they're gonna make of them. All right, I've not only got this car to show you guys today, there is an incredible lineup over there of all the latest Chirons. Okay, I won't even talk about it. Let's just go have a look. This is Frank, everyone. You know Frank.
Hello.
What's up, man? How are you?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
This is the new foot shake that's going around. So, trying to avoid the virus. And
We're all responsible, right?
it's either this, I think there's an elbow one as well, isn't there? And then the foot one. And then we've been practicing all day.
Way cooler, yeah.
We've had a few falls and now we've got it. So this is Frank, you guys. He's the Deputy Design Director. Did I get that right?
That's
DDD.
right. Yeah.
Perfect. There you go. And you guys know Frank from my channel. He's on with me all the time when we talk about Bugatti because Frank is the best. Simply put. We're actually going to get in this car. Frank's going to drive it. We're actually going to see it in motion for the first time. All right? He's all yours. There you go. How did it look? In movement, in flight. And, surprise, look at all of the other Bugattis here in the lineup. Isn't that incredible? All right, so we've got so much to talk about. We'll go through these ones in a second, but let's look at this new baby first. Who did you make this for? What kind of customer?
Well, with the Super Sport, we've made a car that is made for top speed.
Yeah.
Then we have our
Which is
core
this
product. Then we have the core product, the Chiron and the Chiron Sport. And this is the Pure Sport, which is taking it into the other direction.
Right.
Which is agility and handling.
So do you think people will buy both?
There will be collectors with having both in their garages, yes.
That's madness. So this one's really for like cornering and drifting. I never thought I'd say a Bugatti is for drifting, but there you go.
For the skilled driver, yeah, for sure.
You're looking at me like, don't drift it. Blondie, please.
Well, you have had a drifting lesson, no?
I've had a few drifting lessons,
yeah?
but I don't think I'm at the point where I can drift a Bugatti. No, not going to go
Next goal,
there.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I need a few more lessons.
We also have raised the diffuser with a much steeper rake angle here
Yeah.
to create downforce from the diffuser alone.
Right.
And plus we have these super lightweight printed from titanium, 3D printed from
Yeah.
titanium, which allows us to have some super thin
Look at
wall
this.
thicknesses and save some extra weight.
Look how
Actually
thin it
so
is.
thin that we had to design an extra coupling around this to fulfill the 2.5 millimeter radius here on every corner. That is in the homologation rules for passenger cars.
Because otherwise it's just too dangerous to have
Otherwise
such
it would
thin...
be too sharp.
Yeah, right. That's crazy.
We call those aero blades. And when the wheel rotates, they actually create a draft of air coming from the inside of the wheel to the outside, extracting the hot air
Yeah.
from the brake and filling up the negative pressure that we have here on the side from the air bouncing off this edge here. It creates a negative pressure and the wheel fills this negative pressure and reattaches the airflow to the body side so that the rear cooling
Straight in
intakes
this
are
intake.
better actually.
Okay.
And on the rear, that's why we put also those blades also on the rear. They prevent the hot air from coming out of here
Yeah.
and re-entering here. So this is a problem that we used to have.
Yeah.
It's now shielded off as the air that exits here cannot come back into here because it's getting taken away by the wind.
Yeah, right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. All right, we've talked about this one. We've got to get on. We've got so many different
We've got a
cars
few
here.
more to talk about.
We've got
Yeah?
so many to talk about. This is the world record speed braking car, the Super Sports 300 Plus. You can see here they've actually left all of the bug spatters on the front of the car, and to keep it in that condition, just to show that that was the moment that it broke that world record. That's pretty cool. It broke the 300 mile per hour barrier. So this one will never be washed.
We can never wash it, unfortunately.
That's
Those are the
crazy.
original bugs, right?
Well, it has a wing, but it stays down.
It stays in top speed mode, right? We've extended to attach the airflow for as long as possible and tear it off at this precise edge here.
So you see how much longer it is, you guys? And then when you achieved the top speed record, that stayed down, whereas on that car over there, because this one's made for cornering, this one is a fixed wing that stays up the entire time.
It's fixed wing, it doesn't move. We've eradicated the kinematics to save weight.
Yeah.
And it stays in that position even at top speed.
So that's a major difference between those two Chirons, you guys. This one's limited to 30, only 30, at 3.5 million euros. All right, let's move on. We've got the 110 here. I absolutely love these backlights. These are gorgeous, Frank. These are amazing.
They're really three-dimensional, right?
Oh.
They serve dual purpose as well, not
Yeah.
only illuminating but also extracting heat from the engine bay.
Oh.
So they're a ventilation as well.
There you go. Here, this one is actually inspired by the EB110, but this here is kind of squared off. It's not round.
That's right. We have certain, let's say, citations to the EB110
Yeah.
from back in the 90s, which was a much more angular car.
Right.
And yet we've reinterpreted in a much more modern way. So that's why this is all one section, really clean, right? And it's got a lot of sculpture as well, whereas the EB110 was a rather flat body style.
Right. Only 10 of these babies will be made at 8 million euros. Right, now, this beauty, La Voiture Noire. This is actually Frank's car. He bought it for 11 million euros, didn't you, Frank?
I got a company discount.
It was 15 million euros and he got it for 11. So this is only one in the world. They're only making one. I'm going to let you explain what this center line actually refers to, because it goes all the way here from the front to the back of the car, Frank. That's beautiful.
That's right. This car is inspired by the Type 57 SC Atlantic. That was the first car made entirely out of aluminium.
Right.
And back then they couldn't weld aluminium, so they riveted it in the middle.
Right.
So it had this kind of fin running through the center of the car. That's why it's on here as well.
So you've put that on here. And these beautiful headlights here. I just love this detail. This is gorgeous. We're looking at the wheels of the Pure Sport earlier, and these look completely different. So what's going on with these wheels here?
That's right. Those wheels were 3D printed as well, and the shape is only creatable by 3D printing, as it's so complex in its shape.
Wow. This line here, this is beautiful. The tail light going all the way along, just one line. That's gorgeous. And you've got the 6 exhaust pipes coming out the back. That's quite special. Awesome. All right. So 11 million euros for that one car. That is the most expensive production car ever made. And finally, we have the Devo. We are looking at something very special, because this is one of the very first customer cars going out.
Yeah. So you see, it's only 1.5 years ago that we met in Pebble Beach, where we presented the show car. First production car, ready for delivery.
Right here. They're only making 40 of these, the Devos, at 5 million euros each. And just take a look at the front. This is what I love about it. Frank, you were pointing to this earlier. Just how wide these headlights are. Look, they're almost at the edge of the body, and it makes the car look more aggressive.
Absolutely. We've pushed those sort of boomerang-shaped daytime running lights all the way to the outside. The car's 2 meters wide, and it looks even wider because they're at the very outer corner of the car.
So cool. And this kind of dual tone interior where one side is white, one side is darker, that looks awesome as well. Congratulations to the new owner. That's exciting. All right, guys, that I didn't know was going to happen today. So that was a big surprise from Bugatti. A massive thank you to Bugatti for having us here today at the home of Bugatti in Molsheim, lining up all of these incredible cars for us to take a look at. And a massive thank you to Frank as well.
Thanks for coming by once again.
We'll see you again soon, yeah? Stay well, you guys. And thank you so much for watching. A massive thanks to my Supercar Blondie family. All right, we'll see you somewhere else in the world with another amazing car. Bye.